The Miami Dolphins defeat the Buffalo Bills in a really good, intense divisional matchup against two teams that have a lot going for them in this season. And Buffalo is considered potentially a Super Bowl favorite. And to see Miami step up to the challenge and win this game was very impressive. And Tua Tagovailoa, someone that I have been praising from the moment he stepped on the field at Alabama, showed once again that he does have what it takes to succeed in this league. Now, Tua didn't have the greatest game, but he had a solid game, but he was also knocked out in the second quarter with a head injury, and it looked really bad in the moment when you saw him try to get up and run back to the huddle, but ultimately he returned in the third quarter, completed some really crucial passes, and ultimately the Buffalo Bills could not mount that final charge, and the Miami Dolphins go to 3-0. But my question is how is Stephen A. Smith going to spin this one? Because Stephen A. Has kind of been on the anti-Tua bandwagon, and that's because it's popular. It's been very popular from a media standpoint and from a lot of fan standpoint to be anti-Tua. That's just been a narrative that's been built up, and I'm really, like, if you're saying that from a durability standpoint, I 100% understand that. And even myself, I've said, I'm not sure as an Alabama fan that watched Tua Tagovailoa in college, I'm not sure I would have felt comfortable taking him as a first overall pick for my team, considering the durability issues. If we're talking about talent, 100%. And not because he's an Alabama quarterback, because you've had quarterbacks like Mac Jones, A.J. McCarron, Jalen Hurts. I have never said that I believed any of those guys should be starting NFL quarterbacks, although Mac Jones is in a good situation in New England for sure. But with Tua, I saw the talent. I do not deny that he has amazing talent, and I'm not going to shy away from that. But the durability is the question. But let's listen to Stephen A. Because now that the Dolphins have moved to 3-0 and Tua has defeated a really top-tier opponent. Now, it needs to be noted that Buffalo was missing several defensive starters, but that's always going to be happening in the NFL. This was still a very impressive win for the Miami Dolphins. Here we go, listening to Stephen A. last week, saying the popular opinion.
Sold on the Dolphins this season?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm sold on Tyreek Hill. I'm sold on Jalen Waddle. I'm not sold on Tua being able to get them the football once defensive pressure's amped up, once elite defenses get in their face. Like, you get ready to go up against the Buffalo Bills. We're going to see what you bring to the table.
Right.
You know, as this season progresses, we'll see what you do. If you make it to the playoffs, which I think they probably will, we'll see what you do. But I've got to see Tua.
Wait a minute. So you saying the Dolphins? You saying the Dolphins probably will make it to the playoffs, yet you doubt them? Doesn't make sense. But he did show us what he had, and he stood up to the Buffalo Bills.
Against elite defense. I don't qualify the Baltimore Ravens pass defense as not even average. In the last 19 games, they ranked dead last. They've given up 5,500 yards in the last 19 games, dating back to the opener of last season. I understand they've got injuries, Dan, and what have you, but the fact of the matter is that I don't think they're representative of the kind of defenses as presently constructed. Of course, I have faith that Harbaugh and them will turn things around on the defensive side of the ball, but as presently constructed, I don't have faith. I don't believe that that's what Tua will be going up against as the season progresses. I think defenses will intensify. They'll have more film on him. They'll know what he brings to the table, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle can turn a 5-yard pass and take it to the house. So we understand how electrifying they are. We get that part. I just am not sold on Tua's ability to get them the football with regularity and to make sure that offense is potent with regularity. I'm not sold yet. I'm not saying it can't happen, Dan. I'm just not sold yet. I'm not there.
Because it's a popular thing up to that point.
I'm sold, but I was sold long ago. But I have a question. So,
Yeah.
Waddle and Hill are so good, but you don't think the quarterback can get him the ball?
Listen, I'm just saying. I mean, listen. Of course, you could throw 5 yards and stuff like that, and they could take it to the house. I'm not refuting that. I'm saying there are going to be times, particularly when you go up against better teams, where things are going to be a bit tighter. And as a result, you're going to be required to throw that football down the field.
He literally threw the football down the field, I believe, in the third quarter of this game with a beautiful completion that put them in scoring position that ultimately, I believe, led to another touchdown. It was on a 3rd and long, by the way. Under pressure, But hey, Stephen A. again, just gonna go with whatever's popular and trendy and cool because he doesn't have the ability to form his own opinion.
And I'm questioning whether or not Tua is going to be able to do that against better and more elite defenses. That's
all right. So, do I think that Tua is going to go out and throw for 400-something yards or however many he had last week and 6 touchdowns for Buffalo? Obviously not. But here's my pushback. So, this Mike McDaniel system comes from San Francisco. We can't sit here and think that. Well,
and Tua went, I believe he went 13. I'm trying to watch the Buccaneers Packers game right now too. So I believe Tua went 13 of 18 for a $180 today. And like I said, him getting knocked out in that second quarter, and they were driving, and he completed that pass. It was a third down pass, I believe, that he completed when he got knocked out. And so they were off to a really strong start. And I don't know how much that affected him, but ultimately I'm really happy that he came back because when you're Tua and the main question surrounding you from people that have actually paid attention to watching him, unlike people like Stephen A. Smith, the main question about Tua is not his talent, it's his durability. So for him to come back into that game, I think was a big boost to let everyone know that I'm good, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. And that was a really big moment, I think, that hopefully can have some long-lasting effects on this season, and hopefully he continues to stay healthy. But, yeah, I'm just happy to see Tua doing really well. I've been a believer of Tua the entire time, and I'm loving what's going on with Miami, and I hope they continue on this path. I'm loving the fact that you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They're weapons for him, and he's taking full advantage of it. So we'll see what happens. Miami Dolphins move to 3-0. Stephen A. looks like a clown, so it's a day that ends in Y. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.